So, hey everyone, thank you so much. We're super excited that Google Cloud has sponsored this talk, and Rajan is going to speak about data marts. So he is the Senior Manager of Business Intelligence at a really great company called Fastly. Rajan, the stage is yours.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Jason. Thanks for the intro. Let me make sure I have the control. All right, thank you. Thanks, Jason, for the warm intro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I was hearing everyone is joining from across the world. Thanks for joining the session. My name is Rajan Patel. I am Senior Manager at Fastly. I've been working with data analytics and data stacks for over past 10 years, and I work with several generations of data and data stacks. Most recently, I'm building modern data stack at Fastly, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. So let's talk about Fastly real quick. So what is Fastly, or what do we do? So Fastly is an edge cloud platform which processes, serves, and secures our applications at close to your users as possible at the edge of the network, and a lot more. How do we do that? So Fastly has a point of presence across the world and a network. So what does that network look like? So we have 100 terabytes per second capacity in the network. We serve about 19 trillion requests per month, and global mean global deploy time of 13 seconds. So you can deploy your applications on the network super fast. I want to zoom in a little bit about what does this network capacity translate into. I'm going to use a Netflix example. So if you take an average movie size or average movie which is 2 hours long, which is 1.5 gigabits or gigabytes size, and if you have to stream that movie, how many movies you can stream on this network? That comes to around 8,330 movies per second on this network. So if you have to put that into context with Netflix, you can stream pretty much entire Netflix library within twice per second on this network. That's amazing. And if you're using like some of these applications, you are using Fastly underneath, so like Airbnb, Stripe, Pinterest, New York Times, and many other customers who use Fastly. All right, so let's go over the agenda real quick. So what I'm going to talk about is where we started about a year ago. What was our thought process as we were planning to build the next data stack at Fastly? Where are we right now? And what are some of the benefits and results we are getting after implementing this modern data stack? And what are the plans going forward for our team at Fastly? So right off, this is what it looked like almost a year ago at Fastly for a BI team. And it was literally one person prior to I joined Fastly back in August last year. So we have a legacy BI system, which is pretty much the BI system that everyone uses at Fastly. And we have some of the SaaS applications directly connecting through this BI application, extracting the data from all this application into the BI application. We had little footprint of Google BigQuery and dbt just started, and not a whole lot of data there. We were also processing some of the Salesforce and NetSuite data using Boomi as our extraction and loading platform, and dropping all that into Google BigQuery, and just leveraging dbt a little bit there. You can also see we have some of in-house data flowing into the BI application directly. So some of the challenges that we faced with this stack if you talk about the extract and load, we were only able to connect to very few applications, and we are only able to select some tables as and when we need them. And if there are any changes with the underlying schema, we have to go and manually update, change them, and kind of push that. So this was just a beginning. And most of that data from this application was coming directly into this legacy BI application, where we have a lot of data from a ton of different places. So it was all over the place. What that created was data redundancy, data silos. We don't have control over the data source. Users can directly connect to any applications, create their workflow, create their transformation, and create a data set which can be used by any users. So there was no single version of truth. For the same metric, you can find multiple definitions or multiple data flows. This application was heavily involved with data transformation, and there is no documentation as well. For some of the use cases, we were not even able to ingest the data because of the sheer volume of the data that we had. And this application was not able to handle all of that. So with all this thing in place, where we started, what was our thought process for building the next data stack at Fastly? So obviously, one thing was very clear is we wanted to do cloud first, everything in cloud. We don't want it to have any applications on-prem, on data, on-prem applications or anything that we want to manage. The second thing, which is highly critical for a BI team, if you've been working with the BI and a BI practitioner, I think this is the biggest pain point that I have come across from past 10 years is having a stable data pipeline which can be scaled and automated. So that was another big thing that we wanted to cover. The next thing we wanted to cover was data warehouse. So with the given technology currently available in market, I mean, there is no need to have your own database on-prem, which you have to upgrade, do a lot of maintenance, have a lot of admin work, and it's just not worth the time. So we wanted to have that in cloud and highly scalable. And the biggest thing that we wanted to transform while building that new next generation data stack at Fastly is to centralize all the business logic, have all the data transformation done in one place. And we wanted to also introduce a lot of testing with this data. So what that translates into? So eventually, we wanted to build a data mart which is focused on business processes. And we are doing that by using the dimensional modeling methodology. And we are a big Kimball fan here at Fastly. Also, another pain point that we wanted to resolve was not having a BI platform, like doing the heavy processing and storing data. So those are the two main things that we wanted to solve, and push all the data processing as close as to the data, which is in data warehouse. And obviously, we wanted to also implement a lot of governed processes and have more visibility across the stack. So where are we now? If we fast forward today, this is our current stack, and this is what it looks like in terms of the BI team. We are now 3 people, thankfully, and we are able to invest a lot of time in building this stack. So as you can see on the left-hand side, we have a lot of different data sources, a lot of SaaS applications, in-house database. We also have Google Sheets, which we cannot or never get rid of as a data source for some of the use cases. And we have Fivetran in place, which is currently extracting from 9 data sources. As you can see, on a daily basis, it's been great so far. From past 1 year, we had almost no issues or minimum hiccup, I would say, and it's been working great. So what Fivetran is doing is dumping all this data into our raw project within the Google BigQuery. So that's one separate project just for the raw data, and we don't touch that or process that data or do any transformation on top of that. So it's as is or raw data layer. Then what we do is we have dbt in place where we go through a data transformation process, massage it, clean it, turn that into dimensions and fact tables, and then eventually build the data marts that are focused on business processes. And that is pushed into another project, which is our model data project. And on the front end side, as you can see, now we have Looker in place, which is part of Google Cloud now. So it has good integration, and we are hoping for even better integration down the line. We also have a Slack integration with Looker, so you can send in alerts directly into your Slack. And there are some other use cases that we are working on with the Slack and Looker integration. Another thing I want to talk about is probably something new and not sure if everyone is still aware of that. But if you're a Google Cloud and BigQuery customer, I think this is a game changer. Google Sheets, Google Connected Sheets. So it's basically another BI tool, so to call, but it's not a silo data. It's not a static data that you would extract from your data warehouse or from BI application, and then someone will go and process that data. So what we are doing is we are also enabling this data marts from BigQuery that can connect to connected Google Sheets live. So you can build, do ad hoc analysis, build the reports, and then provide this use case-based Google connected sheets to the business users, where they can use the sheets at the same time it is live data and it's not a broken process. So it's an amazing tool. We really love it. Prior to Looker, we used to use Google Data Studio just for quick POC purposes, just for the BI team. We are not enabling that for the entire business community. And something that we have not touched a whole lot is data science use cases that we are planning to build in future, probably using Jupyter or Colab notebooks, which is part of Google Cloud as well. Also something we are interested in doing is using Google BigQuery machine learning. And something new coming up for the Google BigQuery is Google Query BI Engine, which will be enabled by default for every application that you connect. So there's going to be a tremendous performance boost there as well. So this is what it looks like today. What are some of the benefits and results that we see here with this modern data stack in place? We have fully automated and resilient data extraction from many applications, and it's been seamless data pipeline and data extraction that I've never seen before. So it's working great. Now we have almost infinite scalable data warehouse, which we are able to leverage the speed and the processing power that we have at our hands. And what we are focused on is building a single source of truth. So how do we do that? So we work with business very closely. Like we focus on business processes, systems, data, and work very closely with subject matter experts to figure out what are the data marts that are needed for a given process, and get their stamp of approval and get their approval for processes, data as well. So one thing which is obvious is data quality is not organic. It needs to be intentional. You have to be involved. So you always have to keep up with the new processes, new data that is coming through this different sources. And what we're doing with this new process and new stack in place is we are able to centralize all this business logic into DBT, version control it. So we have full log of what's been happening over the time. And then we are also deploying a lot of data quality testing within the DBT, which was not possible before. So testing was something almost granted for the data engineering or software engineering world only. But with this capabilities now, what we are able to do is make sure our assumptions are true with the data. We are able to test the uniqueness of the data. We are also able to identify the stale data right before a stakeholder comes and asks to us. And any bug fixes we are doing, we are able to put that into our testing process as well. So there are so many ways we are able to control the quality of the data while we are building the trust with business users. So all of this is still work in process. There's a lot of work that we are doing right now, and it's undergoing a lot of changes right now. What other result we are seeing is reduced data footprint. So with a single source of truth and a single place where we are storing and processing data, we don't have to extract the data. Everything is read-only from data warehouse. And with Looker in place, we have a tight integration with the BI platform that enables us to do data workflows, and business is able to also go to a single place with a single definition of metrics. With this new stack in place, we are able to focus on building metrics and analyze the data rather than worrying about, hey, is our pipeline working? Is our database performing? And so forth. And with Fivetran in place, we don't have to kind of just go with the preset tables or data sets that we wanted to build. If there's a new use case and we need a new table from a source system, it's just a few clicks and we have the data, we have the table. So what we are able to do is build and prototype at the record speed. And where are we going from here? So our biggest project currently going on is getting off the legacy BI system, which has connectors, which has data warehouse, business logic, and visualization, and kind of putting all this 4 different pieces into different modules of this modern data stacks. We are also working towards maturing our processes that includes DBT, BigQuery, and Looker. So all the folder structures that we are creating in DBT that reflects into BigQuery and Looker. So we have if we know something is broken into one folder, that kind of reflects into all the system, and we don't have to kind of fumble around where we need to go and fix that. We are also working towards something called hub and spoke model, both from a Looker standpoint, where we have hub, which is controlled by our BI team, and then spoke, which is an extension from the hub, where if we have a power user in the business side or the business team, they're able to do more things and have more control over that. But still, we are maintaining that single source of metric, which is available to everyone. We are also working with business to have a hub and spoke model in terms of teams as well. Our team being a central team, and then we have a counterpart on the business side as well. The next thing we are also working on is enabling data workflows. So Looker has this some of nice features like linking the application. So, for example, you are doing a data analysis, and in your workflow you came or boiled down to, like, let's say 5 rows of data that you want to focus or drill more into the source system. where you can link that directly into the source system or have a Slack integration from there on. So all this turns into another big goal of us is to have a data-driven culture. So this platform enables us to focus on building that. And doing so, we need more people. So I just want to put the word out there. We are hiring for a senior data analyst role. The link should be in the resources somewhere here. Yeah, so that kind of covers my talk.
Fantastic. While we're on the subject of that role, can you tell us a little bit more about it? Types of person, type of person you're looking to get. Is it a Bay Area position or is it remote? That sort of thing. Those are the kind of details that people always ask when I see, hey, I'm looking for a role. So.
Yeah, so right now it's remote first. So anyone west of Denver, I think we are open right now with the Mountain Time Zone and Pacific Time Zone. So we are open to that.
Cool, that helps. So if you could identify a few traits of the person you're looking to hire, what would you say?
Yeah, so someone I think has some experience with Looker, because anyone in this position is going to own that front-end BI landscape. Manage the Looker, work with business, involved in data analysis, working with our backend team. But yeah, mainly someone who's able to work with the BI front-end BI applications.
Cool. We've had a few questions come in on the chat, so I'd love to pick your brain. Yep. Did you touch on why or why not using Dataproc as an example, or is it just that DBT and Fivetran were easier for your team?
We have not explored that yet. It was very obvious for us that we wanted to use the best out there, and that's why we picked the DBT and Fivetran.
Okay, great. How do you orchestrate your data jobs? Do you use Airflow or Dagster?
Not currently. We simply have the cron jobs, but we are also exploring Google Cloud Scheduler down the road, but that is still in flux.
Okay. I have a little bit of a long statement and then question, so bear with me. I may be looking to migrate to Looker for more SQL first tools. From more SQL first tools such as Mode and Periscope. But I'm having some trouble justifying to the technical power users like devs and data engineers in product who most of the time need to write raw queries. Do you supplement Looker with any other tools like Redash if your dev or product team want to view or save raw non-model data?
No, we don't use any other tool right now, but I think that's where the Google connected sheets comes in play. Like if you want to access the raw data out of Data Mart, you can have that connected sheets, and you can do all sort of things that you can do in Google Sheet.
Great. Speaking of sheets, do you have any performance issues using Google Sheets to report out BigQuery data?
Not that we have run into any, but obviously recommended to do aggregations with any metrics. If you're trying to pull like 50,000 rows raw data, you can pull that, but I think there's some limitation, but I would highly recommend doing the aggregation, or just bring the columns or the key metrics that you need, rather than just dumping everything to go with or to begin with.
Okay. Are you codifying your single source of truth in LookML or in a data warehouse itself?
Everything in DBT.
Everything's in DBT.
Nothing in Looker. So Looker, I know that there's been a lot of blogs, documents out there, but we are pushing as much defined processes that we have, or the calculations in DBT. And if there's like a runtime calculation or the little things that we want to do, we are doing that in Looker. But all the major metric definitions and transformations all happens in the big DBT.
Got it. Are your DBT models mainly views, or do you use tables, ephemeral, or incremental?
Mostly views and tables, and ephemeral too. So our staging and like sort of in between layer is all ephemeral. All the fact, dim, and marts are tables, and then views based on the need we use them.
Yeah. What is your time from when data changes in the source system that the data is available in your BI tool? So for Looker, in your case, I think Fivetran has a 5-minute delay on the data sources I've used. So then what?
Yep.
Then what is your time for processing data into parts and loading it into your BI tool? We are getting more and more requests for data to be near real time. That's what that person says.
Yeah, so we don't have any predefined SLAs as we are still building a lot of that. Mostly we like based on the source system, right? Some are like on a daily basis, like marketing, they don't need every day. So that goes on a daily basis. Salesforce financial data, probably an hourly refresh right now. And then cron jobs are, DBT cron jobs are scheduled right now on an hour basis. Like any near real time use case right now, but we may just turn some of that into views based on the performance, and then that could give us like almost near real time based on the 5-minute window that Fivetran is able to do.
Fantastic. How do you perform data quality and validation testing? Do you use any test automation tools?
So right now we are doing all that through DBT and exploring more within the DBT, but we don't have any other tools outside the DBT.
Are you building slowly changing dimension type 2 tables in your DBT implementation using snapshots frequently? I find folks using different strategies for tracking historical changes and implementing Kimball.
Answer is yes, we do snapshot some of that, and also doing this slowly changing dimension. We are also exploring something introduced by Fivetran that is called history mode, where it will do it for you. You don't have to do it on through DBT. So every time you get the data from Fivetran, it'll be already kind of having that type 2 data.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been a great session. We've had a lot of deep questions based off the stuff you've said. And so thanks to everyone who asked questions. Thanks to Rajan for being our panelist here. And also thanks to Google Cloud for sponsoring his session. Join us in a few minutes. We're going to have Michael Kaminsky talk about data science on the modern data stack. We're super excited for that session. So be sure to join us in 5 minutes and we'll kick off with Michael. Thanks again, Rajan.
Thank you.